Good afternoon, Muttonistas. A week ago, I was in Madrid, balmy hot weather, too hot to have a coat on, and watched Manchester City get a really exciting 3-3 draw at the Bernabeu in an incredibly tense match. Now it's the turn of Manchester City to host Real Madrid at the Etihad, and whilst I'm quietly confident that City can do the business and get through to the semi-final, we face a very dangerous opponent. So join me for what should be another thriller of a Matchday vlog of the quarter-final of the 23-24 Champions League between Manchester City and Real Madrid, rapidly becoming the El Clasico of European football. Right, Muttonistas, a slightly unusual location to start the vlog off today. I'm in Urmston, which is very much a United supporting part of Manchester, but I've been kindly invited to sample the beer at Brewchimp. I think they have 3 or 4 outlets, all in West Manchester, and I'm excited particularly because the manager tells me they serve a mean pint of Guinness. I've actually had a quick pop inside and I've seen virtually everybody who's here at the moment is on it. So let's hope we get a good pint to start building up my match fitness for the day.
Still there, Gary Brown's still there. Steve Point's just finished. I'm inside now. I won't be boots up. Yeah.
Right, Muttonistas, inside the Brewchimp bar in Urmston, the Guinness has been recommended to me here, and back to the normal format today of food and drink and then football chat. And I'm here with the owner, or the landlord, Dave, and he's got quite a lot of interesting facts to tell you about this pub. But first of all, we'd better have a quick slurp and quality control the Guinness. And that, Muttonistas, is a really nice pint. Not too bitter, not too cold either. As you well know, many pubs in Britain serve their Guinness freezing cold to disguise any bad flavours that are coming out. And I believe the cooling system is quite close to the tap, and the whole line is only 1.5 meters long. Very, very good signs. I'm in here with about 6 or 7 other customers. They're nearly all on the Guinness, another good sign. So hopefully someday I'll come back when everybody's on it, it's being hammered, and it really is racing into form. Though I have to say, it's pretty nice now. I wouldn't say it's the best pint of Guinness I've had in Manchester, but it's pretty good. I have also, as usual, Muttonistas, got some food coming. But before that, I want you to meet Dave, who's the landlord of the bar, because he's got quite a lot to tell us, not only about the Guinness, but also the other drinks on offer and the excellent price of the beer. So Dave, tell me about the beers on offer in this pub, Brewchimp Urmston.
So at Urmston itself, we have 4 cask ales, which we have a standard session 3.6 bitter, and then we rotate the other 3. Lots of different flavours and different breweries throughout, mainly the northwest, predominantly Manchester, but we try and get a variation. And then we've got 6 cask lagers on the back wall, German Pilsner, 5.3% Furstenberg, a British lager which we've rebranded ourselves called Hanging Monkey because it's brewed in Hartlepool, obviously, a British cider, a German wheat beer, and we rotate 2 IPAs regularly, so there's a bit of choice.
Did you mean to say keg there, rather than...
Yes,
yes,
sorry,
6
keg.
6 kegs.
6 kegs.
Okay, and tell me about the price of the Guinness here.
Well, as you know, everything's gone up. The world's gone mad. We currently do our Guinness and we're hoping to keep it that way for as long as possible. Do it for £4.95 a pint.
Wow. And what about your stamp card scheme?
Yeah, so we have a loyalty card. It's an app, so you get 10 pints of Guinness or any draft lager or bitter or anything a pint of. 10 stamps, you get one free. So it's another 10% discount, really.
Okay, and can you tell me finally where your other bars are located?
So we're currently in Urmston. We have one in Flixton and we have one in Stretford, all offering the same or similar choices of beers.
Well, Muttonistas, £4.95 a pint. Not many places where you can get a Guinness for less than a fiver these days. I'll drink to that. Okay, the food's on its way. I met the chef and he told me that the burger that I've ordered, which includes brisket, which is marinated overnight, is kind of their signature dish, so I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, Muttonistas, down to the table, and I can assure you, as I've had this sort of combination quite a lot, remember the war pigs in Copenhagen, slow cooked brisket, that sort of meat, goes very well with dark beers and stouts. The Texas Wacko Burger. It's described on the menu, and I'm reading it out literally here. A double smashed patty, low and slow brisket, which they've told me is marinated overnight, smoked streaky bacon, Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce, and dark berry mayo. And of course, with a burger, it has to be garnished by a Glasgow salad. Now, they did have other types of fries. They had loaded fries, sumo fries, buffalo chicken loaded fries, all sorts of things. But I think there's so much going on with this burger that the plain fries are a better bet. Wow, quite a lot going on there. The patty is very well seasoned, which is a welcome change from some of the stuff you get at bars and pubs, and I'm loving the brisket. It's got that tanginess, the barbecue sauce is adding a very slightly sweet touch, not too sweet, but a bit of oomph, a bit of tang, exactly what you want when you're having brisket.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah, mate.
It's got a bit too far.
And please excuse the off-camera double entendre there. And you probably all know that I'm not that big a fan of sweet things, but when you have slow-cooked meat, like brisket, that's the sort of stuff that you need in your burger or your barbecue or whatever you're having, or whatever style you're having your brisket-based meal with. The same, of course, goes for stuff like lamb shank, pork belly, that sort of thing. Sometimes the natural sweetness of, say, sun-dried tomatoes is a good addition as well. But here, the sauce is pretty good. Anyway, Muttonistas, you might have noticed that eating that one-handed was a little bit tricky, so I'm going to have a quick slurp, put the camera down, and I'll be back with you when I finish this delicious burger. Right, Muttonistas, back at the Monk for my pre-match preamble, and there are a fair few Muttonistas with me. And I'll be asking them for their opinions and predictions about the game in a bit. But first of all, my own take on the game. Having been at the away leg in Madrid, it is crystal clear to me that the problem is with the counter-attack. We were caught a few times in bad positions last week. When it was 2-1, yes, 2 deflective goals, it could have been 3-1, and that might have been a completely different story. Anyway, we go into this game level, we have a fully fit squad. I'm not quite sure how fit Kyle Walker is and how fit Nathan Aki is, but if Kyle Walker can play, I think he'll be crucial. He can bust these counter-attacks. That's been a bit remiss of me not to tell you about the beverage I'm drinking. I normally have their own pale ales, their hazy pale ales, but I saw a dry nitro stout called O'Hara's. No idea where it comes from, which brewery. I'll try and look it up and leave a subtitle if I can. Yeah, that's a bit of a creamer, that is. That is a good one, that is. Not a hint of sweetness there, and not so much bitterness either. It's got all the flavours you would expect in a stout, but none of the nonsense you get from some of the stouts that are made rather too sweet. And most importantly, the texture is quite good. The nitrogen is so important in terms of delivering a creamy pint of stout. Anyway, back to the football, and it could go either way. Let's have no doubt about that. I mean, they are a decent side, Madrid. I just think we're better. If we play well as a team, I think we will be all right. They don't have 80,000 people roaring them on at the Bernabeu, as they sometimes had in the second legs when they made all their miraculous comebacks. And very importantly, no Thibaut Courtois, as far as I'm aware. The team news isn't out yet, but he'll have made a bigger recovery than those reported in biblical times if he's playing tonight. If you remember, Rodri was a little bit sloppy in the Bernabeu, and he had a well-deserved rest against Luton. We came through that well, and we were the beneficiaries of two great results in the league, with both Arsenal and Liverpool losing. I did watch some of the games last night, and the danger for City is very, very clear for all to see. You would have thought the two games that were played last night would have gone the other way, and you would have had Atleti playing against Barcelona in the semi-final in the other half of the draw, albeit the softer half of the draw. But at the end of the night, whilst I'll be very disappointed, it wouldn't be the biggest shock ever if we saw Real and Arsenal in the final. But I'm expecting City and Bayern to go through, and my money would be, if I were a betting man, on a 3-1 win to City. Come on, City.
Go on, City!
And some Muttonistas with me. Before we get on to score predictions, what are you all drinking here? Same as me, the dry Irish stout, yeah. Oh, the double IPA, yes. Very nice, but very strong.
Strong, it's got a nice bit of taste.
Yeah, I do like that beer. A few pints of that, and I'm not sure I'd be able to see the ball properly. And I can see somebody on the Faith Hazy, is that right? Yeah.
3-1 City.
Good call.
2-1 City.
5-0 City. 3-0.
5-0, wow.
3-2 City.
Okay, score prediction? 3-1.
3-1 City.
Okay.
Come on, City.
3-1, a popular score prediction, and not far off what the bookies think either. So let's hope we're all right tonight. Come on, City. Okay, Muttonistas, I haven't even finished my first pint here, and the team news is out. In terms of Real Madrid, very similar to last week, putting out their strongest lineup. And the good news is that Courtois is not back and Lunin is back in goal. I don't think Courtois would have let in that free kick in the second minute last week, and I have a suspicion that Lunin may be a little bit of a weak link in their team. In terms of City, great news, Walker is back. Unfortunately, Johnny Stones seems to have picked up an injury from somewhere, so the rest of the back four, apart from Edison being in goal, is Diaz, Akanji and Guardiola. Midfield, we found room for both Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. Rodri, of course, pinning everything together. Foden, Bernardo and Erling Haaland. Surely that's too much for Real Madrid. Let's hope I'm not going to be disappointed. I have actually put a little comfort bet on, just in case. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this pint and probably another before the match starts, and I will see you all at the Etihad. Okay, Muttonistas, I said I was going to leave for the ground, but my friends, the Muttonistas behind me, tempted me in for another pint. But I can assure you all that we are all match fit, so come on, City! Come on, City! Well, Muttonistas, sounds like there's a cracking atmosphere in here tonight. Swift half I ordered, I got a pint, and I hope we don't mess this up. I'm tense, I'm really tense, but then again, even if we play Palace or Fulham at home, I'm always tense. Come on, City, and I'll be at my seat or at my standing position, ready to film after the Champions League anthem, which I refuse to film. Well, only 4 minutes in and Real Madrid's tactics are clear for all to see. They are copying Liverpool big time, pressing high up the pitch, trying to force turnovers, and I think that's what we're going to see for the rest of the game. I think that's the only way they can win it, to be honest. Sloppy possession from City, they have a chance. If we keep the ball well, I think we'll be good, we'll be home and dry. Well, are we going to have to dig ourselves out of a hole here? First big chance, we've conceded a goal. That's not good. Everybody looked at the linesman. I don't think there's any offside at all there. Rodrigo scored the goal and we were lacking in defensive cover. I have to say, the ball was held up enough for us to get back and we didn't. Okay, come on City, sort this out.
Hey, champions again, ole ole! Spanish spy, that's what he is.
Well, 33 in since the goal. Real Madrid have had the odd dangerous foray, but we've got our tackles in, and we have started to get a grip on the midfield. Let's make it tell. Well, half-time, City 0, Real Madrid 1, quite disappointing. Real Madrid really had that one big chance, a couple of forays forward which came to nothing, but when they struck, Rodrigo really scuffed his shot. Ederson did well to save, and it just fell to Rodrigo for the rebound. All of his goals against City have had a tad of fortune and a tad of scuffiness about them. But these things happen in football, and we have to do better. We've had most of the ball, most of the midfield, not really a clean chance where you could say somebody should have scored. But the goalkeeper, Lunin, apart from some rather dodgy keeping at corners, has performed quite well so far. I think City will score in the second half sometime, and at least we're attacking in the direction of the stand that I am standing in. So any excitement will come clear in 4K to you, Muttonistas. But I have to say what I'm more worried about is another breakaway to put us 2-0 down. I think we'll score, we usually score. Rodri doesn't lose, it's just the threat of going 2-0 down that worries me. Guardiola should have been able to spot some weaknesses in the Real Madrid team at half-time, so I hope he sorts it out. I always trust in him. Let's hope he sorts it out this time. And before you all say, oh yes, it's City again, sterile possession, doing nothing, some of the passing has been quite decent. Anyway, the beer service has been pretty slick. Let's hope City's passing is as slick and we can avoid what would be a colossal mugging. This has not gone to plan unless you're a Real Madrid supporter, in which case the first half has gone perfectly to plan. Well, we're 67 in, City are piling on the pressure, haven't fashioned a really clear chance, but I feel we're going to score. I'm just worried about letting it slip at the other end. I think if we let the ball do the work, they'll tie it as they did in the Bernabeu, and we'll slot one in. Doku on for Grealish, probably the only attacking move without unbalancing the team that Pep could make. Time to make a name for yourself, Jeremy Doku. Go on. Go on! Go on! Finally, the equalizer came, the pressure tool, and it was Jeremy Doku who did the business on the wing, squeezed it through to Kevin De Bruyne, who hit it past Lunin. 1-1, it's game on. Go on. Oh no, what a chance, what a chance. Come on City, we're playing well, we can see this through. Go on. Funnily enough, I take extra time now, just don't give one away because I think we're going to wear them down, grind them down and get another. Oh! Well, it's full time, it's 1-1, extra time, City fully in control here. I hope, maybe expect us to grind them down and get that winner. Come on City. And okay, if it goes to penalties we could lose, but if we lose in extra time, it really does mean we have been mugged. We are all over them at the moment. Go on, John. Half time and extra time, nothing doing. Real Madrid clearly playing for penalties. We've been on top. Who knows what's going to happen? Come on, City, give us a glorious one at our end. 4 minutes to go. We're all over them again, but we can't get that telling pass through and the telling shot in. I'm a bit worried because our record, Haaland aside with penalties, is pretty poor. Oh. Here we go, penalties, a bit of a lottery. I'm looking back at that Kevin De Bruyne miss after he scored just before full time where he could have sealed the deal. Let's see what happens here. I suppose at least they've got Lunin instead of Courtois, which is of an advantage to us. But I mean, obviously, if you play for Real Madrid as the reserve keeper, you're still probably pretty good. Ederson's record with saving penalties, well, it's okay, it's nothing special. And what's worse, it's all down the other end. Well, whatever happens, come on City, do the business. We're taking the first penalty. I have a feeling I'm going to be deflated like after the Tottenham game, but let's hope I'm wrong. Come on, Alvarez. Good start for City, great pen from Alvarez. And of course, it being down the other end, no way I'll be able to pick out the Real Madrid penalty takers. Come on, City, keep this up. For once in my life, give me some penalty joy, City. Come on, Bernardo, don't fail us now. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. That must be one of the worst penalties I've ever seen. Time for Kovacic now. I've not seen him take any penalties before. Oh dear. This is what I expected, it's going pear-shaped. Well, come on, Phil. Well, Ederson himself taking the fourth penalty for City. Sorry, the fifth penalty for City, rather. Oh well, here we go, fifth penalty for Real Madrid. Ederson has to save it or they have to miss it. Not hoping for much, but let's hope. Go on, give us a John Terry slip. Well, Muttonistas, I've come to the Waldorf having a pint of white rat, a hoppy pale ale, and what a bitter disappointment that was. First of all, as always, appropriate to congratulate Real Madrid, and when I described them as the cockroach that won't die in a nuclear war, that's not meant to be offensive, that is a testament to their ability to hang in there when things are going badly and find a way to win these games. Okay, a penalty shootout is a bit random. We'll get onto that later, but for the game itself, that goal early on, oh my goodness. It was like a reminder of times gone by when English teams were routinely getting mugged in Europe and losing 1-0. We had virtually all of the game after that. We eventually got the equalizer and I thought we were going to go on and win. I mean, we had a lot of good chances, not clear-cut chances, apart from the one that hit the post. And then De Bruyne, oh, he skied it. He could have put that away and put us into raptures behind that goal, but it didn't happen. Extra time, I mean, okay, Pep knows more than I do, but I don't know why Kovacic came on for De Bruyne. Was De Bruyne knackered? Were we really wanting to add an extra defensive midfielder just to see the game out? Or were we bereft of attacking midfielders? I think Pep went for experience. I would have stuck Oscar Bob on or Rico Lewis, but he did what he did and he knows what he's doing. Real Madrid scored with basically their only shot on goal for a long time. Actually a scuffed shot by Rodrigo. He must be the luckiest guy alive when he plays City, because He's had a deflected goal, that scuff shot which bounced back to him, and the one where he intended to meet a cross in the Bernabeu a couple of years ago, where it skimmed off a teammate's head and it hit him perfectly. But that's the way it goes. One has to do better oneself. If you get a bit unlucky, that happens in cup football. And I'll say it again, Real Madrid defended really well, but we had the opportunities to win that game. There was no way virtually they were going to score again late on in the game. And when Jeremy Doku came on, he added that fizz and spark that we needed, but we couldn't see it through. Of course, no disgrace in going out to Real Madrid. They are the masters of playing in European competition, and Carlo Ancelotti, for him this time, must have gone like a dream. This was as well as it probably could have gone for him and his team, and their plan did pay off at the end. City still do have a lot to play for. We have Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final at the weekend, and we are 2 points clear at the top of the league. And 4 leagues in a row is not to be sniffed at. I don't want to sound as if it's sour grapes, but at the beginning of the season and all through the season I have said, if I were given a choice of back-to-back Champions League or 4 leagues in a row, I'd go for the 4 leagues in a row. And yes, people will say, well, we did enough to win this tie. Well, we sort of did and we didn't. We haven't got to the levels that we reached last year where we beat them 4-0 at home. Gundogan and Mahrez, so hard to replace, I think. I used to slag off Mahrez a lot, and it seems as if he's a player that we would have needed on an occasion like this. I don't agree either that the severity and the difficulty of winning the Premier League when Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, who are rolling back the years making a semi-final between themselves, have easier positions in their league for 2 different reasons, because Real have won theirs and Bayern have definitely not won theirs. Okay, I expect a lot of you want me to talk about the penalty shootout. City actually went ahead, send an Argentine on to take a penalty and he'll usually score. But after Modric missed his, we threw away our advantage. I'm not sure what Bernardo was trying to do. He's a great player. I mean, who am I to criticise him? And the whole thing's a bit of a lottery. That was a bad penalty, really bad penalty. Kovacic's penalty, well, it was better. It was to the side of the keeper, and it was fairly central and had a good height for the keeper. And Ederson actually struck a good penalty himself. It's a pity we hadn't got to the sudden death level, because I'm pretty sure the Madrid keeper Lunin couldn't take a penalty like that himself. So there we are. I mean, the Champions League is a hard competition to win. To win it back-to-back is incredibly difficult. Obviously, I'm disappointed, but I'm looking forward to Chelsea in the FA Cup on Saturday at Wembley. I'll be there to bring you that vlog and to bring you as much as the tail end of the league season as possible. But until then, Muttonistas, remember, keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing, but most of all, don't forget, you can't beat a bit of mutton.